Hey Yogi, what's in the box?
Well, let's find out. What I'm hoping it is the interior to Pepper.
Ooh, I can't wait.
Ooh. Now, I remember when I took the gray interior out of Pepper, it was really heavy because it was soaked in water. So that's my first impression of the interior, thinking it's really heavy. But that's because it had a bunch of foam that was wet and the carpet was all wet. Let's take a look.
Stronger than the upholstery.
Awesome. Look at that. That's the front here.
Holy moly.
We're gonna have black interior.
Sweet.
It looks fantastic.
Yeah, it really does. It's good shape. Really good shape.
Take the steam cleaner to it and it'll be
Good as new.
Now, here's this piece is the other piece that I'm in the market for, which goes in the back seats. It goes like that.
Right.
So, although it doesn't look bad, it looks bad.
Well, compared to that new carpet, or
Well, that's because
new
it's
old carpet.
Yeah, it's water stained really bad. Yeah.
Yeah, really bad.
But I have the black seats already that I got from another scrapped Porsche.
I found a penny.
Yeah.
Ew, I don't want to get that.
Don't mess with that.
That was
crust.
super crusty. Yuck.
Yeah. So I need that in black. And then I think I'm gonna keep the door cards, the door panels in gray to have that nice contrast.
Right.
And then I'll put some black or silver accents on the dash in some way, maybe the center console. So cool. That looks good.
Sure does.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Yogi's Garage. It's a great day to be here at Yogi's Garage. As you saw in my intro, I got some carpet for this girl right here, and I'm going with a dark colored carpet. So in this video, what I'd like to do is get the interior ready, and it's more than just the welding, although that is probably the most complicated part. I still need to get some of the rust spots off on the driver's side. I'm not gonna bore you with some video on that. You saw how I did that. And if you haven't seen that video, be sure to click that pop-up banner above so that you can get caught up. All right, so like I said, I wanna get the rust encapsulator going again on the driver's side. There's a few spots, touch it up, clean it up, get all the dust out of it, and then we're gonna put that carpet in that's sitting over here, and I'll show you in a second. But first, there's always a but first when it comes. So we got to do the rust. What I also want to do is put new sound dampening material in there. And I've already placed an order for that, and I'm going to surprise you with that later in this video because this is going to be a multi-day part. As you know, I have a job, you have a job. This just entertains me. So I will release this video as soon as I can. Anyway, so sound dampening. We got to do the rust encapsulation, and then we're able to put the carpet back in and put all the trim back in and start looking at what the next steps are and getting the interior restored as I'm waiting for my engine. So there's no update on that yet. Nobody's contacted me from Ellen Engineering. I'm still waiting. Once that comes in, then I'll shift gears and we'll start working on the engine. Can't wait to get that going. All right, so take a look at this carpet. This carpet is in great shape. Compared to the carpet that was in Pepper originally, the gray one, it was just worn down because it was a daily driver. If I had to guess, this carpeting did not come out of a daily driver. In fact, look at where your heels sit when you're shifting, and you can just tell how clean that is and how new looking it is. So great pickup here. All right, so like I said, we got to get this done. Let me show you this sound dampening. Oh, and there's Yogi Mama. Say hi, Yogi Mama.
Hi, Yogi Mama.
Okay, very good. And she's looking at the door cards and some of the areas that still need to be cleaned up. I hadn't done the passenger or the driver's side yet. And there's some other side panels that I haven't figured out how I'm gonna get this to go black. I may have to separate that and find different parts for that, but that's later in the video.
I wonder if we can dye it.
It's possible. It may not be worth it, but we'll see. Here's the Dynamat, and it is not really a Dynamat, it's some kind of sound dampening out of the factory, but I'm gonna put some good stuff in there. I haven't figured out which one. Maybe add a little bit more too. Obviously this is the other side that was all rusted out. Now it's not, it looks great. And we're gonna put more there, but I think I'm gonna do the whole back area. I may go overboard and add a little bit here. I am aware that it adds more weight to the car. However, I'm boring up on this car, as you know, so it's gonna be a 4-liter engine, and we're gonna have more horsepowers than we can really, horsepowers.
What are horsepowers?
It's how you say horsepowers if you're cool. All right, and here's what I'm using for sound deadening. And I've done a lot of research online. I've asked some experts about this product and the differences between, let's say, this brand and another brand, and then the Dynamat, which is the benchmark brand. And they all pretty much do the same thing. One of the huge misnomers about what this thing does is that it is not a sound deadener. It's more of a vibration dampener, right? So I see a lot of folks out there putting or coating the entire interior with this type of matting. It adds a ton of weight, and I think if you go beyond that, it's really overkill and you're adding excessive weight. Maybe you're trying to do some type of acoustic enhancement in your car, then maybe that's a good reason. But as far as just quieting down the interior, a single area like what I showed you that was originally installed in the car is really all you need. And when I finally start doing that, you'll get a better idea. So let's take a look at what's inside. It's made from something called butyl. And what I've read is there's another company out there called Noico, N-O-I-C-O. And their product is similar to this. It's an 80 mil, but it has an off gas that's really stinky in the car. The Killmat apparently does not have this problem. They're very similar. Oh, by the way, in case you're wondering what I did to my hand here, on Friday I made a steak and the steak splattered some grease on my hand, and now I have 3rd-degree burns. These pads here, like I said, they come in really manageable sizes. They're pretty small. You're gonna need an applicator roller when you're doing this, so keep that in mind. If you look at the car itself and you compare it to what I'm taking out, which is that little, 10 by 10 square, and if you compare it to this, you can see I have quite a bit more that I can use here. So I may cut it out and just run it down here in the middle and then use the excess pieces to put here and here. So I can do whatever I want here. I think I'm also gonna put some here as well to help with the engine noise coming through the cabin. But hey man, it's a convertible. So I really don't need a whole lot of sound deadening because I can't really deaden much of the sound. What I'm trying to do is deaden the vibrations. And I think that's really gonna help. And I'm also gonna do it in here as well. Maybe put another pad in here, and on the passenger side, I believe, if I go look at the passenger side, I think it already has it. Let me take a look. No, okay. You would think I have the seat removal process pretty down pat, right? Yeah, I think I do. But nevertheless, I'm gonna take you with me. Not that bad, you know? I do it all the time, you're gonna get good at it. You know, I'm looking forward to the day I don't have to do this anymore. But, you know, something tells me I may be doing this a few more times before it's all said and done. It's a good thing everything's relatively easy to get to. But let me bring you in and show you what we got left to do in here. So this side of the car was spared most of the rust. I say most because you can still clearly see that it did get some, but minor. You can look at this and clearly see that this is nothing compared to what we had to do over there. So I'm gonna get this thing vacuumed out. I got a little trick here that I'm gonna be showing you here in a few minutes on how to get that Dynamat or sound dampening, the OEM dampening, get it out of the car. Then I'm gonna run a vacuum through this whole thing just to make sure that I am not missing any rust. I don't think I am. This looks pretty good. All right, let's start cleaning. All right, let's go ahead and get this ground out of here. Believe it or not, this little grounding point can be part of many electrical issues with starting your car, and that's what happened to me, was that due to the corrosion on this side and on this side, I was getting some funky check engine lights around the airbag issues and the immobilizer. Once I cleaned the ground post up, gone. So keep that in mind. All right, let's move all this out of the way and vacuum. Disconnecting the immobilizer is pretty straightforward. It's 3 connectors. You have this one here, which I don't know, that could be an infrared signal there for the immobilizer. That doesn't work for me. And then of course, this one with the quick release, and then this one with a couple of pinches. So pinch, lever, pull out, disconnect. And of course, just like the other side, you need to remove the controls. So this side has the controls for the trunk and for the engine bay. Really easy, disconnect it. Then like the other one, we're just gonna unscrew this plastic panel and pull it out of the way, because I suspect that there might be a little bit of rust under here that I'm gonna need to address. And it's better to know for sure, because you can get really deep into fixing all of this stuff, but if you miss it, and you miss something, you'll regret it. This is minor, but nevertheless, I need to put some rust encapsulator on all of these little rusty spots. All right, and then we gotta take this plastic trim off, because I don't wanna get any paint on any of this. Plus, I wanna clean up the wiring harnesses, get all the dirt and grime out from underneath here, you know, and give this thing a once over to see if I can do anything to improve it. Like you can see some of these little felt backers here. I'm assuming that's to help reduce vibration. I'm gonna make sure that that's the case, and then I may actually upgrade those to reduce the sound issues. Let's keep going. All right, some good news. I don't think I need to disconnect the wiring harnesses other than to make sure there's no metal or debris inside of them. I had already done that initially when I was diagnosing the issues with the pop-up roll bars, as well as the airbag and the convertible top. So I kind of know what goes on in here. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, be sure to hit that pop-up above so that you can see what all this wiring does. But anyway, this line here comes into here. There's some exposed wiring here, and I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that this is a seatbelt sensor that the previous owner had no idea what to do with it and just kind of left it like that, which is dumb. Oh, in case you didn't notice, I took the other seat out off camera. It's kind of a pain in the butt to get between the wall and that car. So believe it or not, I used my superhuman strength and I lifted the seat up over my head and carried it this way. I did it all off camera because I didn't want to intimidate anybody. So, but just so you know, I did that and nothing happened. I didn't hurt my back or anything. I got my trusty wire wheel. I'm gonna go to town on getting some of this rust off. Some of it's pretty deep in the metal. So I don't expect to not see any rust, but what I want to do is get the rust powder or whatever off the top, and then I can encapsulate it. What'd you get?
Check it out.
Oh yeah, I want this. All right, so this is what I wanted to do to get the soundproofing out of here. I don't know if it's gonna work. I think it will. I'm trusting my good buddy, Chris Fix. You may have heard of him. He did a video on this before, and I think it's gonna work out just great. So I've got my dead blow hammer, and I'm gonna break this up, and then we're gonna dump it on that mat and see what it does.
But what is it? You haven't said.
Oh. Dry ice.
There we go.
Yes. So I said I'm just gonna smoosh it up. All right, so we're gonna be focusing on that. And I believe if you just put a little bit of dry ice on this, it will harden that up to the point where it'll shatter. I hope the car doesn't shatter.
No kidding. We don't have another donor.
Don't scare me.
Don't scare you. Don't scare me.
Did you hear that?
Oh, I heard that.
It's cracking off. You see that?
Uh-huh.
I hope it's just the rubber.
Gonna smack it?
I'm gonna. Yeah, you can see the cracks that are forming. Look at this.
Wow. Popped right off.
Yep. Right here. Look at that. Piece of cake. There. That's how you do it. Simple as that. Dry ice, about $11, unfortunately. But hey, if I had a bunch of it that I needed to get off, that would be awesome. So now, Yogi Mama's gonna figure out what to do with the rest of this dry ice because I don't like wasting
Sounds
money.
like cocktail time.
Cocktail time! It is almost time for, it is Sunday, so Bloody Mary Sunday, everybody. Let's do it. That's what it looks like underneath. Ooh, that's cold. I better get that stuff out of there before my car freezes. That was rubber. Now it's not. For now, anyway. It'll melt. All right, well, that was fun. Short and sweet. I let it, I pulled most of the ice out of there and then let the rest just dissipate. And the cool thing about that, obviously, is it's not water, so it just evaporates. Anyway, so I've got the scraping done as much as I think is necessary. I took a lot of the top off. As you know, this here is pitted. It's not going to go anywhere, so I'm just going to encapsulate it as is. But I need to clean all this, man. So I've got some AP cleaner in a bucket. Got some brushes. Got some elbows for some elbow grease. Let's clean it. And there. So much better. You know what else I found in this car? Mildew and mold. Believe it or not, it was still in here. It may be dead or not active, but I had to clean it off of all of the seam sealers because I had been getting a really strange mildewy smell coming from this car even a year later where it hasn't seen a drop of water. And this is what I'm talking about here. So this car has black mold or whatever kind of mold that is that's going to require more cleaning, but I wanted to do this part first because I got to do this rust encapsulation. This thing says that you can just spray paint right over the rust. I'd rather scrape off the top layer and seal it this way. I don't know if it's the right way or the wrong way. It just feels right to me.
Wow.
Looks pretty good, right?
That's incredible.
Here as well. I'm gonna make that disappear. You want to see it disappear?
Let's see it disappear.
I've already shook this for about an hour. Now it's gone.
Boom.
That's my line. Make sure all my stuff is covered up. All right, there.
You want gray accents, but not like that.
Yeah, I have gray accents already on my head. All right, so again, as I said, a lot of it's around where the spot, where the two pieces came together and it was spot welded. So I just want to cover that up. Quite simple, but extremely important, right? And then on where the mat's gonna go, this is gonna be all covered up again. Oh man, I'm getting high.
Blow that out of my face.
Wow, man, I'm so high right now. Woo! Okay.
Let me keep doing this with the mask on, and then I'll bring you back in and you can see what it looks like. Thanks, Yogi Mama.
You're welcome.
All right, now that everything has been rust encapsulated, I'm ready to put the sound dampening back in. And like I said, I'm going with Kill Matte. So here's an example of a piece here. And I went ahead and did one already. So this is what you should expect it to look like after you're done. And I'll show you exactly what you need to do to accomplish this. It's pretty straightforward. So obviously the foil side up. And then what you want to do is you want to pre-shape it to where it's going to be fitting. In this case, this one here is going right here on the back seats. As you can see, I want it to go like that to give me some vibration dampening here. Obviously, the engine will be back here. That'll give me some help. Now, you can see that it looks different here than it does here, and that's because you need to use a roller, and this particular roller has some notches cut out of the wheel here. And what you want to do is go back and forth to ensure that there's no air gaps between the vibration dampening and the metal, because that's how moisture can get in there and cause rust. So what I did is I purchased a 3-pack of rollers. This is the smartest thing to do here. You got the standard 1.5 inch, and you have another one here that, wait, let me see. That is a 1/2 inch, yeah. So 1.5 inch, 1/2 inch, and then a 1/2 inch. What is that? 1.5 inches? That's not 1.5 inches. You crazy. These two can't be 1.5 inches. Okay, so this here obviously will help on these rolled areas here because you need to get in there. And I don't believe you need to worry about whether or not the foil tears here, because it's going to be covered, and in some cases it'll be painted over, so it doesn't really matter. But what you do need to do is make sure that the surface that you're sticking to doesn't have a bunch of crap all over it. So I'm going to clean all this up, then I'll bring you back in and I'll show you what I'm going to do in order to get it to stick properly. Okay, now that it's clean, I used some rubbing alcohol to make sure that there's no grease or anything on this metal. Now that it's cleaned, I want to have it shaped. I want to get it shaped here. And so I kind of want it like this because I want the center here and I wanted to avoid any of the wiring here. So I cut off about, I don't know, 1 inch or so off the edge just to keep it right where I want it and no more. All right, so what they're recommending that you do is you peel it off from one edge and then you peel it back as you're applying it. I'm going to do it like that. Get it to about where I want it. Keep it nice and straight. Right about there. That looks good. All right. And then come from underneath and just push down. All right, so you get the air bubbles out. And you can already see the shapes behind the sound dampener. And then the magic happens right here when you use the roller. Okay, this one's a little bit trickier because I have this huge hump that I'm gonna go over. So what I'm trying to avoid is creating a gap because I don't have enough slack, but I do. Because what I did is I only rolled back what I needed and got that nice and stuck. And then I'm gonna push it in. So once I pull the paper back, I start from the top and just kind of push it in. Just like, you know, applying stickers to something. I don't know, it's like a model. Okay, then now the rest can just, there. Like that. Pretty good. Getting all of the air bubbles, air pockets out. All right, complete. Nice. All right, and this is what the passenger side looks like now. I've got it all cleaned up and matted down, and I've done all of the sound dampening. And how'd that get there? No, actually, yes, I put it there. It's my signature. It's the work that I did. The next owner can take it off if they don't want it, but hey, they got to get to it first. Everything looks good, but I wanted to show you something else because I need to give you a heads up on what's going on. Oh yeah, I got a softbox light too because I'm tired of all the post-editing I needed to do in order to get all of the darkened areas of my garage filled in with light. So there's that. But let me show you something else. This is not a Porsche engine, so it's not related to this video, but I needed to show you what this is because this is what I'm gonna be doing in the next few videos that I'll be releasing after I release the one on the interior. But this here is a 3.2 liter inline six Mercedes-Benz engine. This engine was manufactured in 1995, and I'm gonna be replacing the engine in my 1995 E320 wagon. I did a few videos on it about 6 months ago, and I discovered that some jackhole threw bolts into the intake on 5 and 6 and subsequently trashed the engine. But believe it or not, the engine still runs, and I can get it up to highway speeds on 4 cylinders. So there's no compression in these two on the existing one outside of my wagon. So be sure to check it out because I'm gonna be doing an engine swap as quickly as possible because my Audi, AKA Olaf, is going to my son for his second year of college, so I need something. And I figured I can go old school with my wagon. So yeah, look for future videos on this engine. It should be a pretty straightforward swap. I say that now, knock on plastic, knock on magnesium, knock on something because this is going in. I'm really excited. This here is the plastic trim, like I mentioned, needs to go back into the car, but clearly it's got a lot of ferrous powder all over it from the grinding and the welding part of this project. So I'm gonna clean all that up and then we're gonna put it all back in. So here we go. All right, simple process here. Got a couple scrub brushes, some AP cleaner. This is a no-brainer. Let me knock this out and I'll get back to you here in a second. Let me do my finger snap. Everybody seems to like that. Nothing. Damn, I actually gotta do it. And there. Not too bad. A little bit of brushing, get all that stuff off. And then I use my little blower here, which is awesome. I use this more in my garage than I ever used it in my, for my computer usage. That's what it's really supposed to be used for, is to blow, dust out of computer cases and stuff. But it's the same exact thing that chemical guys and all the other companies rebrand as their blower, but it's basically this thing. And I've had it for about 5-6 years and it's great. This is ready to go. I'm gonna go put it in now. Let's do it. All right, I've got Yogi Mama on the camera again, thank you. I am gonna put the plastic trim back on. I've already snaked the wires through these. This is what controls your bonnet and your engine bay. So it's pretty straightforward. The felt, by the way, I mentioned earlier, I was looking it over and it looks fine. The felt is there to help reduce the vibrations between plastic and metal, but I think we're good here. I'm ready to just put this in. There's a mount point here in the back and then a couple of bolts here, and it slips basically right into these little holes. There. Like that. There. And there's a couple of bolts. Like I said, Phillips heads. Pretty straightforward. These other bolts go to the module that goes here, but I'm not going to put that back in just yet because I need to repair it. The soft touch plastic on it is not very soft to touch anymore, and it's worn down, so I'm going to repair that in a separate video. right.
There's another bolt.
Like I said, these 2 bolts, this here goes there. And that is basically a little plastic fastener that attaches the this part to the car. I'll have to use a 10 millimeter on that. I'm just gonna put these back here so I don't lose them. All right, let's work on the other side.
Have you told anybody about the tray that you're using in any of your videos?
I don't plug vendors on my channel yet because they don't pay us.
Yeah.
So I haven't, but those mats are really good. They are, their name is Gripe Mats. And when they start paying me, I'll call it by its right name. But right now they're Gripe Mats, so good.
Maybe you would gripe less if they...
Give me some money. Exactly, help me pay for this project. All right, there you go. So now all of these here go back here. All right, I've used this in the past on some earlier videos when I started this project, when I was troubleshooting all the wiring and electrical problems that I had. This stuff is really good. It's called Deoxit. Oh wait, I'm not promoting any products. This is called Mix It, and it's really good. It's really good stuff. Pay me money. All right. This goes in there and it basically deoxidizes any of the connectors, gets any of the grime out of there, and it evaporates. Makes it really, really, really easy. All right, pull that up. I need to make sure that I got these pins lined up right. Yeah, okay, we're good. All right, good. Up, in, squeeze, into place, just like that. Cool. All right, I'm putting the airbag impact sensor back. Want to give it a little bit of love in there too, because I was getting airbag warning, but I think it's because the sensor's bad. One of these seatbelt sensors is broken off. I think that one over there is like completely severed. Yeah, there's a guide dowel right there too, so that make sure that you put it in the right direction. But I'm gonna go ahead and put this in first. There's no current in the car, obviously, everything's unplugged. You do not want to do this with power to going to your car. Yeah, that'd be bad.
Would it make the airbag go off?
Mm-hmm. It's possible. You could have a current going through your body, anything, a little charge in your body, and you touch this thing, who knows what would happen. Looks like I gotta do this last.
Maybe that's a question for your viewers. What would happen?
Hey, can you get me that 1/4-inch attachment
Okay.
in my tray? I trust you. You can do it. Bye.
So, folks, when he says his tray, you need to see what his tray looks like. So, what is it that you're looking for again?
I need the 1/4-inch shaft that converts this screwdriver into a socket driver.
Oh, that thing.
Yeah, it's black. Should be in the red and black tray.
I don't see any black anything in the tray.
Man, I gotta go over there and get it.
Where is it, Yogi?
Hey, it's right there where I said it would be. Hard to find good help these days. Huh? What?
I heard that.
Ooh, that hurt. There. Good. All right, airbagged. Airbagged. The seat belt here, clippy. The connector, look at that. See all that green stuff in there?
Yeah, it's all corroded.
Yeah, so probably another reason why I'm getting that'll take it right out.
Yeah, what's that stuff called again?
Schmieroxit.
Okay.
Yeah, hey, Schmieroxit, give me a call and teach me how to say it. Thank you. People have been saying, Yogi, I should get an affiliate page with Amazon and start talking about all these products. But you need to have 1,000 subscribers to get that, and I kind of need your help for that. So if you are not a subscriber, please subscribe so I can help pay for all this work, because right now it's coming out of our pockets, and I would love some support. Yeah, I think that goes like that, and that goes like that. And these are mostly broken, see? So I'm gonna come back and fix that. And then this here actually wraps around this plastic T thing, so it holds all the cabling in place, but we don't need that just yet. All I wanna do is get this all reattached and be done. Nothing on this side either. There's little hooks on the side panel here that attaches it all together. But like I said, there's a screw missing.
What else is new?
Yeah, no kidding. There's a whole bunch missing in this car. Look, those little nail clippings from that nibbler.
Yeah.
They're all over the place. This thing pokes our little feet. Let's get the carpet in. Let's do it, man.
Let's do it.
You recording?
Oh, I am.
Okay. Wow. It's dirty as hell, but I can clean it in there. I think I can just pick it up. But I'm thinking I'm gonna need to take the gear shifter off and the brake before I can do anything. It's all the way on your side.
Yeah, it is all the way on my side.
The weird placement of this bolt. I'm sure I could probably just take this off, but the handle, there we go. Okay. Okay. All right, camera overheated, big surprise, GoPro. Anyway, I went ahead and disconnected this and pulled out that old shifter. Let me show you that shifter for a second. This is the old original shifter that came with the car. And you can see, clearly it's gonna be a little sloppy because it's not connected to anything. But what I wanted to show you is the construction of it, right? It's not good quality. In fact, the discussions on the forums is that you should upgrade it to the 997 GT3 shifter, which I did. I have a 997 GT3 shifter, so guess what? This thing, I'm gonna throw it. I just wanna make sure I'm not gonna hit anything valuable. This thing, never going back in the car. Upgrade, using my AP cleaner cocktail in here, and I'm just going in and getting 20 years of schmutz out of the center console area. And yes, everybody will have something this dirty. Maybe not rusty like this one is a little bit, but it will certainly be dirty. Your drinks, your arms, your skin all comes off. Ugh. Right, Yogi Mama?
They say that 80% of dust is made out of dead skin and hair cells.
Ooh, that's a Yogi's tech tip. All right, let me dry that up. Oh, and if your car is sitting on its tires, make sure you put some bricks or put it in gear, because look, your brake is disengaged. In case you didn't know that. All right, now that I've got all that center stuff out of the way, let's get this back in. There. Is that right?
Oh my.
Does it do it for you, honey? All right, I lost audio for some reason, but I ended up having to take the e-brake completely off by removing that little C-clip and popping that pin out. I didn't know any better. That looks broken.
I thought the same thing, like the top of it looked like it was missing a piece.
No, this looks, well, it's not broken, but something.
I wasn't talking about that, I was talking about the pin that you just pulled out.
I think that's on purpose so that you can do what I did and use a pair of pliers. Ah. And the edge of the plier won't nick the top and it gives you some leverage. That's what I'm guessing. All right, things are going well. I ran into one small snag, and that's right here. But I think I figured out why I'm having trouble getting that to fit. Because this carpet is for a standard Carrera body, not a cabriolet. So I just need to figure out a place to cut it and then set it up here, and it should just fit the way it's supposed to right there. So not a really big deal. I got a couple of other little plastic bits that I need to refit. You know, obviously I've got this panel here, and then there's that plastic goopy looking thing back there that came off the carpet, and they did not include it on this carpet that they provided me. So luckily I had it from the carpet that I pulled off, and there it is. So I just got to clean that up and re-stick it to the carpet, and we should be good to go. All right, I think the best thing to do here is to just cut it right down the middle and then get it to fit behind this. This right here, by the way, is your rollover module. This controls these two pop-ups here. So that's why it's different, because obviously non-convertibles don't have that. Oh, this hurts me. There. It's much better like that, you see? And I may be better off just, I don't know. Let's see, you tuck it in. And see the other one, see this goes like that. So I guess I could put it up in here, you know? And stuff it up in there.
Might have to try it a couple of different ways, but I think that's probably the best way to go.
Yeah. Here. And then, watch your fingers.
Might have to trim this carpet up a little bit to make it work.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, like that. Okay, so cool. All right. So I think that's what we're gonna do, but I'm gonna end the video here. I wanna summarize where we're at. Rust is done. We're changing the color of the interior of this car to black. We're actually gonna do a black-gray combination. The next video in this series will be about dyeing the carpets. So I decided against buying any more black carpets and just use what I have left. So what that means is that I'm gonna use fabric dyes and dye the back seats, but that's for a future video. So thanks for watching. If you're not a subscriber, please consider doing so. We really need your support. We're trying to get to that magic number of 1,000. That way I can start recommending tools to you guys and suggestions on stuff to buy and ways of help supporting this channel. So with that said, thanks for watching Yogi's Garage. We'll see you next time.
Yo, microphone check, make it a microphone check. Give it a microphone, I make it a microphone dead.